Hello there, it's Rachel Palmieri, Stampin' Up Demonstrator in Melbourne, Australia. Last week we had a special birthday here at our place. Our baby turned 30. So I must be getting quite elderly, I guess, now. But nevertheless, 30 years have gone very quickly. He still hasn't left the nest, but we're hoping that he's about to fly away. He's in the process of house hunting and all the rest of it, which is quite difficult to do under the current circumstances, but he's ramped it up again in the last couple of weeks, so fingers crossed. Anyway, I do try to do something pertaining to the child when I make a family birthday card, and I was a little bit stumped for what I could do, because this boy doesn't really lie around. He tends to be out hiking and things like that. But do you think Stampin' Up has a backpack or anything in the range? No, not at the moment. So he also likes to spend a bit of time at Phillip Island, where we have a holiday house. And so I went with that theme. At least he's skinny like the lad in the stamp picture, which comes from a good man. And it's the only one in there that doesn't have children with it. I've actually put that one back on my shelf, so I can't grab it and show you. But one of them has a little boy on his shoulders, and the other one has a little girl on his hip, I think. And this guy's just lazing around, which, as I said, Aaron doesn't do very often. But perhaps he does when we're not watching. I liked it because of this little jetty that you can die cut out. And I do sort of have some of my dies in the stamp sets. Sometimes I don't, but this is quite a compact one, and it fits very nicely on the real estate agent's magnet, which I normally tape inside, but I couldn't find my tear and tape when I was setting this up. I also haven't finished mounting the stamps, and actually, now that I think about it, I will do this happy birthday stamp for one of my customers who asked me how to go about it. So it's a matter of finding the side that has the split in it, which will become quite apparent as you look at the two sides of the sheet, and then finding the matching stamp. And you have to just find it so it matches and pop it into place, and then you should be fine to go. Now, originally I was keeping my stamps back on this, and I threw away some of the red rubbers, which I now regret, but I find it's better to keep them in there, and the plastic of the case does protect the stickiness just as nicely as this paper would have. Okay, well, I might actually leave that one out. I have the seagull out. I was going to, because I've watercoloured this, which I don't do very often, I was going to do a quick demo of a similar card using the girl from Beautiful Moments, and mainly this piece of shoreline, which is kind of cute. So I'm using shimmery white paper rather than the watercolour paper. It still gives a pretty good result, and it stands up to the water fine, which is what we want. Now, for watercolouring you need to use the black StazOn. I love the smell of black StazOn. It smells a bit like almonds. And the first thing I'd have to do is position my girl. So we've got her standing here, looking out. That was a good impression. And because I'm going to stamp the landscape over the top of her, I need to put a post-it note mask over. And then find this. Match up the end. And hopefully we've got a nice result. I think that's pretty good. Oh, I don't know why I'm putting that away, because I haven't finished with it yet. I need to do a bit more scenery. So in this Beautiful Moments stamp set, there's a mountain or an island which is off the coast of Auckland, because the Stampin' Up demonstrator that helped design this stamp set was wanting to make it reminiscent of her and her daughters and where they live in New Zealand. She got that honour because she sold $1 million worth of Stampin' Up product. So well deserved. Now I have a bit of trouble with these little narrow stamps. I tend to roll them over when I'm stamping. So my best way of avoiding that is to use the Stamparatus. And I could also maybe pop in a seagull. Wonder if that's above the island. It is. Oh, I probably should have pressed it on. So the seagull I could have easily stamped, I'm sure, but I might as well do the two things at once. Also, if it doesn't come out clear enough, it gives me an opportunity to restamp. Like there, you see, it's not quite as distinct as I might like. So I can re-ink. And that's better. Now I might be finished with this ink. And the Stamparatus. I do like to get inky. Now, at the moment, I'm waiting on an order of the new water painters to come through. I just overlooked them in the initial order when I was able to order Demonstrator product, and I only order once a month if I can. So I'm waiting for tomorrow or the next day because it's the end of the month, and so you've got until the end of the 1st of July to use this host code. Can you see it? There we are. Alright, and then I'll be closing that one off and setting up a new one for the next month. So what I did, I just used the re-inker for the stamp pads, which sell for quite a small amount. And I'm using it as my source of ink. Anyway, there's new water painters come in 3 sizes. Up until now we've had 2 sizes, and they cost $21. Well, we're getting 3 sizes for the same price, so that's good. One's a really big flat one that'll be great for doing those wide stripes that you sometimes see demonstrators do, or just for a lovely background wash. I'm not really getting this as wet as I'd like. I might have to take a bit of pressure off. And now it's wetter than I like. There we are. Now, I am not the greatest at this, but you never get any better if you don't have a go. So I will share my work in the hope that it inspires you to give it a go as well. This one is called Sahara Sand, and I won't need very much. That might be a little bit sparing, but there's a drop down there. The tricky part will be when I get to doing her dress. I don't really want to have it running all over the spot. But let's cross our fingers that I don't have this problem. That one's Balmy Blue, one of our newer blues, but still in not an in colour. It's a bit blue, isn't it? Okay, I'm going to add a little bit of Coastal Cabana in. This has ended up a lot bolder than I had anticipated, but you know, I suppose I am kind of known for bold colours on the whole. I don't know if I'll feel any better if I put some ripples. Alright, now I don't have a re-inker for Magenta Madness yet. So this is another way that you can use ink. Where's my cloth? Now, one of the things I haven't been doing is cleaning my brush in between, which I think I better do before I do her skin. There's a weird drop down there. I don't really want this very dark, obviously. And just some hair left to do. I'm going to try crumb cake. I think it'll probably be dark enough. Okay. Now I'll trim it down a bit. Oh, I've ignored the seagull. I wonder what I'm going to do about him. Let's see. I'm thinking maybe he ought to go. Let me see. Can I? So that's 12. I'm not so sure. It hasn't exactly turned out the way I had envisaged, and I might have to get used to this one, I think. Although the colour does fade off a bit as it dries out. Actually, that's coming together all right now, isn't it? Alright, now I was going to have a go at getting Happy Birthday onto a purple banner, but ooh, I don't know about that now either. Maybe we're just going to go with Happy Birthday down there. And I've been looking around trying to find, hang on, I have to concentrate, can't do two things at once. Trying to find a couple of less obvious seagulls from the Beautiful Moments, because I think I'll have more success with those. So they can be flying out there. They look like little moustaches. Well, if you like my card, please leave me a positive comment. If you want to try watercolouring, you'll probably see what you should do and what you shouldn't. Bye.